Welcome back, everybody, to the MLB The Show 24 franchise rebuild with the LA Angels. We enter the episode coming off 6 straight losses, but it's also draft day. Last episode, we went over 35 different prospect profiles, and those guys are all going to be on our draft board. Last episode, we spent our final week of scouting trying to finish the profiles on 3 players, including first baseman Nelson Barrero, who, as we talked about last episode, is a really good on-base kind of a player. He's not going to have any trouble getting contact hits or drawing walks with that pretty average discipline right now at 18 years old. So as the youngest possible player, and a guy that can already kind of hit against major league hitting, or pitching rather, I think he is a definitive option for us at pick 17, especially when the draft rank overall is not until 97 for most other teams. The second profile that we finished up was Estevan Ruiz, who gets up to 90%, but not 100. And he's got a very similar story as to Barrero. He's going to get on base pretty easily. He's got a wider range in terms of contact and vision because he's not fully percent scouted, but he is a better defender than Barrero is. So really either option I like, but Barrero does have the higher potential. And the last guy we used that on was Jorge Almonte at third base. He's also 18 years old. Also is going to be a decent on-base guy. Just not as good, not as polished at the plate right now as Barrero or Ruiz, but can definitely be a really good player in a couple of years, although his starting place will be a bit worse than the other 2 players. But those are those profiles updated, and we have the list of our draft queue in order of draft rank. Without further ado, let's dive into our third draft of the series. We don't pick until 17, and we have no second round pick, so this first one really matters. We're going to start the draft. The first overall pick made by the Brewers, and they take Rusty Baladeras. Did not talk about him, did not spend any scouting on him, but we did have him available if he wanted to. He was the second guy on the board, third on our board, without having him scouted, and he goes first overall. Angel Chavez and Tyler Wilkes are 2 closers that are supposed to go in the early goings, but they are closers, so they might not go. They don't go at pick 2 either. Nelson Rodriguez, selected by the Athletics over in Oakland. And with the third overall pick in the draft, the Orioles select Brian Inman, who is on our board at 39, but a lot higher on the overall board. We sim to our next pick, and it looks like Francisco Anaya went at 13, and Barrero went just before us, taken by the Mariners. Man, I was hoping he was going to be there, but I guess they also had him fully scouted, so now we either go closer, reliever, or somewhere else. This is not what I thought was going to be the options here at this selection. I thought he would last. I don't feel comfortable taking a closer or reliever, so we're going to have to go after an infielder instead, I think. And the top options here are probably Pete Hairston, 34th on our board, but I mean, he's well-rounded, but I want higher potential if we're going to go for a first-round pick here. Mercado's got maybe higher potential, but not a whole lot. The power is there for him. I'm not opposed to drafting Mercado. He can play first base and right field. Rob Willie, I think he's better fit as a third-round pick. Do we go with Estevan Ruiz with highest potential of 86? I mean, guys like that can still really contribute, give you a big boost like Edward Julian does. He only has B potential, and he's been probably our best player for the better part of this series so far. Then you got Johnny Fortune, who's 22 years old. Much tighter ranges across the board because of that age, but he is going to have an 84 to 94 potential. He's healthy, average injury risk. This guy can hit. I was hoping that he would last until our next pick, but with Barrero going at 16 before us, I would not be opposed to drafting Johnny Fortune either because he would have a pretty early ETA. Almonte has a wider potential range. Yeah, I think because a lot of our infield scouting came later in the drafts and our later round picks, we're going to have to choose between a handful of players here. Johnny Fortune, Sonny Ruiz, and Steven Mercado, I think, are the top options. But I'm going to go with the potential. I'm going to go with the guy's name that sounds cool. I'm going to go with the guy that has really good future projections on offense. It does not have to be a great defender at second base, but can still be solid there. And he'll spend some time in the minor leagues to work on that. But I think we're going to end up selecting Johnny Fortune with our 17th overall pick. He is 22 years old, but he's going to be the selection. Johnny Fortune, the second baseman. Welcome to Los Angeles. 84 to 94 potential. We'll see about this draft class, including him, at the start of August. We sim to our next pick, and it looks like Rob Willie's off the board. He was drafted by the Red Sox, but we only have a minute to choose here. Both closers come off the board, but Estevan Sonny Ruiz is still here. We have a lot of reliever options. I don't want to focus on that with this pick either, so Sonny Ruiz could be a really good pick here, I think, with our third pick. There's also Nick Blum, who is better right now and more well-rounded, but has a lower potential range. He's probably going to be better out of the gates, but he still might fall to our next pick. There is Troy Hansen, but I'm going to go with Ruiz because of the potential and because the immediate defense and offensive ability. So another infielder taken here in the third round. Welcome to Los Angeles. Getting to our next pick, still several relievers on the board. We've got 3 more picks to make in this draft. Probably spend the last 2 on relievers. Nick Blum is still here, and I would not be opposed to adding him because of that overall ability. There's also Darren Crowder, but he has an injury, so I don't want to take a guy that's going to be hurt and might have injury concerns moving forward. And these guys down here we don't have fully scouted. Castro could be a good late round option if he's still there, but I think it makes sense to go once again with an infielder, and that is going to be Nick Blum. Moving forward to round 5, and now we're going to go after a reliever. Just got to figure out who to take here. We got Damon Hamill still here, 65 to 84 potential, 18 years old. Hopefully his strikeout per nine and pitch control aren't that low. Zambrano's got lower potential. Pitch control's not going to be there. Giovanni Black has extremely high pitch velocity. With a 97 on the 4-seamer, 99 on the 2-seam fastball. I like him a lot. I think it's between him and Hamill right now with this pick. There's also Jack Buechner, but slow potential range. I think with this pick, Damon Hamill, 84 potential, maybe on the high end. Zambrano, 79. Giovanni Black, 83. I'm going to go with Damon Hamill on this pick, but hopefully Black is still there with our next one. Giovanni Black was drafted 9 picks after we took Hamill, so we're back on the clock. And Buechner's still here. Could go after one of these players, but this is, I believe, our final pick of the draft. So got to make this one count. We still need some more relievers, and Zambrano is only 18 years old, has the high potential. Pitch control can be worked on. The future number looks average, which I'm definitely fine with. So we're going to end up taking Richie Zambrano as well to round out our draft class. At 183, he is the selection. So we target spots that we needed more depth at in the organization, and he was one of them. So that is going to be it for this draft. It's over. Out of the draft, we bounce back against the Rangers to prevent a series sweep. We still have one more game, Game 4, trying to win it, with John Means on the mound entering the Home Run Derby and All-Star break. which we're not going to get into. We will go over the All-Stars on the season. And if we sim through this game, we win it 4-0. Pretty good day for the offense. Only 3 guys failed to get a hit. That was Odell Herrera, Tim Anderson, and Brandon Drury. But a home run from Nolan Shonowell got us on the board. And John Means with 8 scoreless innings pitched, only 5 hits allowed. He is 11-2 on the year. He might be the top All-Star pitcher, to be honest with you. And John Means was the top American League pitcher with that 11-2 record coming in, 2.15 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, lower than all the rest of the pitchers here in this league. Zach Wheeler and Freddie Peralta lead the National League for starting pitchers. In relief, Brian Abreu and Ryan Thompson make it. And for closers, Jose Leclerc is in there for the Angels. He's having a great campaign in his second year with Los Angeles. At catcher, Yainer Diaz, Adley Rutschman, Tyler Soderstrom all make it. Luis Campusano, Wilson Contreras, all those guys are in there too. Shonowell just misses out at first base. Vinny Pasquantino passes him at the very end to make it. So that kind of sucks for him. But Edward Julian, no question about this. He deserves to be an All-Star again. He is back to those 2024 numbers. And he's just been frankly amazing for us. Meanwhile, Ozzie Albies and Gavin Lux make it at second base in the National League. At third base, you got Jose Ramirez, Alex Bregman, Austin Riley, Alec Boehm. Shortstop, nobody there for us. Abrams makes it over in Washington. Varsho in left field, Marcelo Zuna, Spencer Steer, Yelich, Rodriguez, Aaron Judge, all the usual guys that appear here. Juan Soto, Josh Lau, Riley Green, 2 different Detroit Tigers on this list. That's very interesting. At DH, Kerry Carpenter and Holiday make it. So Carpenter makes it as a DH, but I guess because he plays right field, he also makes it as a right fielder. Same for Jackson Holiday at shortstop. And those are your All-Stars. So out of the All-Star break, we are approaching the trade deadline, and I'm curious, is there anybody in terms of pitching on the trade block that we could target? Because right now, Still is having a really rough season. The rest of our guys, at least starters, have really figured things out. They're playing extremely well, including Joe Ryan, John Means, and Max Fried is pulling his numbers down slowly as the year goes on. And Chase Chaney has honestly done a great job out of AAA. 3 quality starts in 7 attempts and 0.7 WAR as a pitcher. Meanwhile, so this is negative 0.2. That is a concern. He also has one of the highest FIPS at 5.6 when it's the highest on the team by far. Only one other player has higher than 5, and it's Jonathan Lawasiga, who I'm trying to hide in that backup setup role because most other players, including Cisnero, are bringing that number down. So if we can maybe trade Chase here or find a better pitcher to bring in and move him to our bullpen or something, then it's probably the right move to make. And Riley Green, who just made the All-Star game, is still on the trading block for the Tigers. He was on this list last year too. I mean, that could give us another boost to our offense, give us another elite outfielder that could maybe just be better than Kyle Tucker is right now. And he's only on a $3.6 million salary because he's pretty much in his last, maybe second last year of service. I'm very familiar with Riley Green because I'm a Tigers fan. I love this guy a lot. He's awesome, and he's had a great year in terms of progression. He's up to 88 overall with that A potential still, and he's on the trade block. Now, the top pitcher on this is going to be Jose Urquidy with the Astros, but I doubt we're going to make a deal with a division rival, especially during the season. There is Jacob Junis, who's having a really solid campaign. He is a veteran, but I'm not opposed to bringing him in. He's been consistent for 4 years straight. 9 quality starts and 19 total starts. Very impressive stuff. The FIP is incredibly low. I I'm going to try and get a deal done here. And the Cubs would either want Zach Neto or Walker Jenkins in a trade. Definitely not trading away Walker Jenkins, but Neto is potentially an option here. In AAA, Zach Neto, over 330 at-bats, 265 average, 324 on base is not great for a guy that has had a lot of Major League experience, over 2 years of service up there, and his power is still going down against lefties. 354 slugging. His potential did go down from A to B. Not opposed to trading him away, but there is another pitcher on the trade block that I think also could be a good option for us. And his name is Brandon Williamson with the Reds. 6-6 this year. A 3.2 ERA, excuse me. 20 starts. 9 of them quality. He's been consistent doing that in all 4 years of his career. He's got just over 3 years of service. He's got positive WAR each year, and honestly is going to have probably his best year this year. And the FIP has been consistently below 4 in his career. He's only 28 years old. He could be a future option for us. He's on the block. What would they want for him? They want either Walker Jenkins or Zach Neto. Okay. Well, I kind of like this option a bit more than Junis because he's 5 years younger and he's been very consistent. We don't have to worry about regression and could keep him around for a couple of years and could hopefully light a fire under Chase Sosa. So with Zach Neto not really proving himself in AAA, I think it's time for us to move on from him, because we have a lot of other infielders coming in from the draft who I think will be fighting for some top minor league spots next year. So I think we're going to make this trade. It's done. We have a new starter on our team. So in our rotation, we're going to bring in Williamson as the starter. Another lefty to add to our rotation, our third southpaw. We're going to move Silseth to a bullpen spot. And I think I'm comfortable having him as a top relief option behind both Trinan and Jose Cisnero. And I'm going to move Cisnero over Trinan if I can, but I can't. But we're going to leave him there for now. And hopefully Lawasiga gets less playing time moving forward because he's also been pretty bad. But now we have too many people on the active roster, so we might actually just send Lawasiga down, to be honest with you. But is there anybody that's playing, like, so poorly that they don't really deserve to be on the roster? Well, I think Gerardo Franco has played really poorly compared to his last year. And I think right now he could really use some time down in AAA. So for now, we're going to send Franco down, but I have another move in mind as well with one of our AAA players. But we're going to send Franco down to AAA. And might consider putting somebody else down there too, because there's a guy that I want to call up. But he's not playing too well. It was Walker Jenkins who I was thinking about. But after a good start in AAA this year, he's down to a 237 average in a hitting slump right now. So can't really come up just yet. We're going to start to shuffle some things around here in AAA. We're going to move a couple of guys down. And the first guy that we're going to send down to AA is going to be Yustil Cabrera, who, you know, we're still waiting for him to really come into his own, but in AAA right now, he's just not playing very well. The low pitching clutch is not helping, so he'll go to AA. But we're about to call somebody up from AA that is still having a great season, and that is going to be a pitcher known as Robert Karlik. Just north of a 2.01 ERA, 1.07 whip, and he's been awesome. 11 quality starts, and 18 total starts, 10-1 record. Only 4 home runs allowed in over 111 innings pitched. 2.7 more pitcher. I think he deserves a call up to AAA. Meanwhile, look at what our first round draft pick from last year is doing right now. Look at this progression for Ryan Bullock, already up to a 65 overall at 18 years old, and he is absolutely killing it in AA. hitting 350, OBP of 450, slugging over 500, OPS just shy of 1,000. I think he also is going to be sent to AAA as well. See what he can do up there. In exchange, we're going to send left fielder Anthony Prato down to AA because he has struggled this season in AAA. I'll take us into a series against the Seattle Mariners. A 3-game homestand, then we face the Rangers right afterwards in another 3-game stretch. And we lose the first game 1-10. Man. And almost all those runs were allowed by our bullpen. Luis Castillo, 1 earned run and 7 and change. And the offense just was completely awful. And, man, Silseth is just stinking things up, man. Less than 1 full inning, 3 runs allowed. He's about to be sent down to AAA here soon. In fact, he is going to be sent down. He's just not having a good year. And he needs to just kind of reset in AAA. So he's going to be sent down. And we're going to have to call somebody else up. Hayden Dennis played really well in AAA. 2.63 ERA, 1.22 whip. So, at 22 years old, I guess Caden Dana is going to make his Major League debut this season. He bounced back against Seattle, winning it 4-2 in Game 2. 8 hits for both teams, but we come out on top, getting 4 runs, all 4 runs off of Logan Gilbert, none off their bullpen. And a lot of guys got on base on this one. A home run from Brandon Drury, and a good start from Brandon Williamson, and a really good relief outing from Caden Dana, who ends up getting the win. So he's 1-0, pitched just over 1 inning, and no runs allowed. Good debut for him. Before we dive in, Kyle Tucker is playing way better once we got him going in those player lock games last episode. He's now up to a 250 average, slugging going up, everything really going up right now for him. Hopefully he can keep that going. But Edward Julian, Brandon Drury, Mickey Moniak, all kind of in some cold spells here. We need somebody else to get hot to help the offense out. I'm going to make a couple of lineup adjustments here because the offense has not been consistent as of late. So here we go in Game 3 against the Mariners after splitting the first 2 games. Got Max Fried on the mound today, but we're going to focus on the offense here in this one before we go into a player lot game with Brandon Williamson. And after that, probably Caden Dana to wrap things up. But it's going to focus on the offense and Kyle Tucker here in this Game 3 against Seattle. Both teams come in just above 500. We're 53-47 there, 51-47. Both teams are fighting for one of those last wild card spots. We gotta face Bryce Miller here in this home game. Once again at Angel Stadium. That's just low on the slurve. And Julian chops a pretty good pitch to second base for the first out. 11-game hitting streak coming in for Nolan Shonowell. Gonna keep it going and make it 12. That's inside. On the 2-2 count from Miller, Shonowell breaks his bat. Watch out for the flying timber. And he's out at first. And we got Odell Herrera batting third for the first time in his career. A ball to start every at-bat from Miller. Hasn't really helped us out, though. And that's going to head towards the gap. It's going to be... Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. Thought that had a lot more speed on that, but I guess not. Scoreless through 1. Oh, we just threw 2 runners out back-to-back to get our first 2 outs, and we get out of the inning. That should have been 2 runs for the Mariners, but instead, some good throws from the outfields And it's still scoreless. Brandon Drury leads off the second. Oh, and Drury chased the slider off the plate. His first K. Not the best at bats. That brings up Kyle Tucker trying to keep his hot streak going. Can't do it on a late swing. And now the slider's fouled off just in front of it. This was Tucker's first year in 5 years to not make the All-Star game. His first year with us, by the way. And he promptly grounds a really great pitch to hit right to second base, just like Julian did, man. That sucks. Real Muto next up. Not getting the best contact from this lineup so far. First time through the order. That was just an absolutely horrible swing. Good Lord. Scoreless through 2. A run scores off the bat of Julio Rodriguez. You throw it a runner, again for the 3rd time, and it's 1-0 Mariners. We always fall behind early, man, in all these games. Last 9 games for Luciano, batting just below 400. Impressive stretch over the last couple of weeks. Grounded to shorts. And Luciano's out. Sterling Thompson, excuse me, pulls one to right field, and that's our first hit of the game. Brings up the bottom of the order, Tyler O'Neill. Can he keep the inning alive and avoid a ground out into a double play? And, oh, just foul, man. I square that one up. That one might get blasted. And instead it's a 1-2 hole. And he looks at strike 3. Need Julian to get going here with 2 outs. That's just low. And pulled it right to Sano at first base. Just early on it. Inning over. Still 1-0. Bottom 4. Owen Shonowell leads it off. Second time through the order for Bryce Miller. And Shonowell gets a base hit up the middle. Grounded. No, it's the wrong spot. Double play. Never mind. The shortstop dropped it as he made the right throw. Or was trying to make the right throw. Lucky break for us. 1 out, 1 man on for Brandon Drury. And it's gone! A blast to center field. Slurve left up. And the Angels lead thanks to our cleanup batter, Brandon Drury. What a year for him, man. His 24th home run. And still a lot of baseball left. That ball went 433 feet. 105 off the bat, and Miller continues to miss on these opening pitches for almost every at-bat. It's not going to help him out, but hasn't really cost him too much so far. Kyle Tucker gets a hold of one, but I don't think it has enough. Oh, it does! Back-to-back jacks! It's 3-1 Los Angeles. I thought he was going to get robbed again, just like last episode, but picking up right where he left off. He's now got 5 home runs in the last, 2 weeks. That's amazing. Gotta make use of that short corner with a guy like him who loves to pull it to right field. The inning's not over. Realmuto at the plate with only 1 out. Ooh, I thought he clipped the slurve there. Just in front of it and missing contact completely. That's way off. And Realmuto is retired, chasing the slider low. It's going to bring up Marco Luciano. Only 2 home runs this season, but he'll get more chances here against right-handed pitchers the rest of the way. And that was a good pitch. And Luciano makes it 3 in the inning and 3 on the season. Let's go. What a 4th inning for the Halos. A big fly to center left. 111 off the bat. That one went 445, even further than Brandon Drury's. But we get hot. We get hot fast. Can Sterling Thompson keep it going? He had the first hit for us in this game. Oh, he pulled that one. That would have left if I would have timed that one correctly. He's batted very well ever since we sent Franco down. That's pretty good for his developments. He's got B potential. He's pretty young still, so as a 2022 first-round pick, definitely still has some more development to do. Or to get, but he could do a good job in a couple of years. That was perfectly swung on. It just didn't go anywhere. And into right field here in the 5th inning. Edward Julian gets on base after a pair of groundouts to open his day. There's 1 out, and that's going to be it for Bryce Miller. Got hammered there in the 4th. Not the best start to the 5th, and he's done for the day. And he is relieved by Brian Wu. 89 innings pitched this year, and he's been pretty solid for him. Oh, a high flyer to center field, but not enough behind it. Out number 2. And the inning is over. Odell Herrera 0 for 3 with a strikeout now. Max Fried gets through 6, only allowing the 1 run. Flashback to that big 4th inning, including Brandon Drury's monster home run. It is now, well, same score, 4-1, but Brian Wu's still out there for Seattle. We tack on some more insurance to help out this bullpen once they start to come in. The answer is maybe so. Drury gets a hold of it. Does it have enough to leave? It doesn't. Right at the warning track. 12th pitch for Brian Wu in this outing. And Kyle Tucker chops it foul. Way in front of the changeup. He also had that home run back in the 4th. A solo shot. That's upstairs. And he drills it right to short for the 2nd out of the inning. 1-0 count for Realmuto. And he keeps the inning alive. Oh, he got him. That's a great pitch inside. Had to swing in a 1-2 count, and Luciano is retired. It's still 4-1 Halos. Same score, bottom 7. Sterling Thompson leading off. Wonder how long Brian Wu will stay in for. Most guys don't usually go more than like 2 innings in relief, but he might have some good stamina. I'm not really too familiar with him. I should have laid off that one. As fastball has a lot of movement to the right. For us to the left, if we're batting, Thompson almost turns on it. Man, right over the plate, way in front of the cutter. An even count. And he did it again. Thompson. Not enough power. Oh, man. One batter later, with 2 outs, nobody on. Edward Julian. And to finish the inning for us. Hopefully, you can keep it alive and maybe get an extra base hit or something towards the gap. And a bit behind that one. That was the one to do it on. And once again, chopped it to second. Done that several times in this game. A 2-run home run off of Matt Strahm makes it 3-4 Angels. I'm going to make a move to bring in Caden Dana. I guess I got to wait one more batter. Got to wait one more batter for Matt Strahm. And he gives up another solo shot. It's 4-4. Are you serious, man? He just let them right back in this game. In comes Caden Dana because now we're tied. Hopefully, the young pitcher can do some damage here and get us out of the inning. But there's nobody even out. Let's just sim through it. Fly out. He walks a guy. Pop outs and strikeouts. Matt Strahm just completely sold the game for us. That's amazing. Now we got to do it all over again. Facing Abe Spire. They also brought in Cal Riley as their catcher as a substitution. Both pitches go low. It's a 2-0 count. Count goes 2-2 after a couple of pitches there in the zone. And it's a full count. I thought about bringing in Dom Smith here because he's way better against lefties, but I'm going to let Shano ride this at bat up before I make that move. We'll see what happens next time through the order if we do get a chance. That's fouled off. Long at bat here. Pitch number 8 from Spire. And it's inside. Good discipline by the first baseman. The leadoff walk. And they want us to pinch run. If we do this, Shonowell has 49 speed. Smith only 29. Anderson can play first base. No, he can't play first base. Ohapi can, and he's good against lefties. 65 speed. I'm not opposed. Logan Ohapi comes in. So it's Odell Herrera at the plate. I think this is the perfect spot to make a DH move for somebody that is better fit for this spot. You want to replace him. You still could bring in Dominic Smith, who's got 67 lefty contact. He bats lefty, though. Anderson bats righty. We know about him against lefties. Why not give Anderson a shot here? He's got less power than Herrera, but I'm not looking for power right now. I'm looking to keep the inning alive and looking to string some runs together. So Anderson is going to DH the rest of this game. And he strikes out. That's a great pitch by Spire, man. Brandon Drury back up. He's very good against lefties. And that's a base hit. 2 runners on. And next up, it's Kyle Tucker. Tucker off the glove of Sano. We're so lucky. They'll get the second out. But that's when that Tucker has to send to right field. That one cannot be a grounder, man. That was a slider left up. Our last chance to get back in front here in the 8th inning is Real Muto. And they're going to walk him. He's only got to get the 1 out. And batting 7th, it's Marco Luciano at a home run back in the 4th. All we're asking for is a base hit. That's all we're asking for. Off the plate for ball 2. All right, this is a hitter's count for Luciano. Should have laid off that one. Good Lord Almighty. That should have been 3-0. Oh, man. That's off the plate. Spire losing some composure here. 3-1. What do we do? We swing. And it's a full count. That's a walk. It's 5-4. Great discipline at the plate by Luciano. And Ohtani can cross home plates. We got the 1 run. Can we add any more to it? Thompson up the middle. That's going to bring home 2 more runs. Love the insurance. Sterling Thompson coming through here in this game. Haven't talked about him virtually all season until now. With Franco and AAA, he's got a lot more chances to make a name for himself. That'll be it for Gabe Spire. A day to forget. In comes Hunter Harvey to face the bottom of the order, Tyler O'Neill. Trying to end this 8th inning and take us to the 9th. Oh, that splitter was a dangerous one. O'Neill just couldn't get a piece of it. He's only got 49 vision against righties anyways. That's off the plate for ball 1. Just under 37,000 people here in attendance. It's a 45K capacity stadium. That's inside again. And ball 3, it's another full count. With Julian on deck, would love to keep this inning alive. Oh. That was 100 miles an hour. Thank God we got a piece of it to keep the at-bat going. Had to swing again. The 12th pitch. Inside. What a walk for Tyler O'Neill, and the bases are once again juiced for Edward Julian. And he's facing a right-handed pitcher. Dangerous area for Harvey here. Oh, that was a beauty. That was the one. Just late on the heater. He actually is not as good against righties as I thought, but he does have the 84 power. So make contact. You might do something with it. But this one's not going to get down in left field. The inning ends 7-4 Angels. A big one to give Caden Dana a chance to close things out. Ohtani comes in at first base. And leading off, it's Trent Grisham for the Mariners. We're going to watch and see what Caden Dana can do to end this ball game. Got Leclerc and Cisnero ready to come in if they need to. But the second appearance in his career, open for Dana, who's been in this org since before we took over, to close this game out and allow nothing extra. Inside, and a blooper gets through. How does that get through, man? What? Look down below. I've never seen this before. They're doing draft pick grades for our draft class. It was a C+ for Hamill, C- for Richie Zambrano. I have not even gotten a chance to look at their potential ratings. That's going to be it for Caden Dana. We say, hey, it's too close of a game to let this young guy get a chance. In comes Leclerc with a man on first base. Got to face Rodriguez, who's already 2 for 4. He's climbing the leaderboards for most saves here in the American League. Oh, right through the slider. Left right over the heart of the plate. That was a dangerous pitch. And he got him with the changeup. Painting the corner. That's a great pitch. Oh, no. In the air to right field, it's gone! Goodbye, baseball! The former Angel, Miguel Sano! 3 for 5 on the day! And the clerk has let them right back in this game! It's not over yet! Come on! When is this bullpen gonna figure things out, man? Even the clerk having a great year. You can't give up a shot like this. Senzel's already homered once, and he's 3 for 4 on the day. In there for strike 2 with the slider. 0-2 hole. Just trying to close this game out. We need just 2 more outs. 4 more strikes, so we're out of here, man. Off the plates with the cutter. With Jorge Polanco on deck, who is a triple shy of the cycle. You cannot let Senzel reach. You gotta get out number 2 here. And that's gonna stay foul. The clerk misses just off the plate. And the winning run, or the leading run, is at the plate. He's already homered once. This does not feel good right now. This feels like a dangerous situation. And that was a dangerous pitch. Please, Leclerc. And there for strike 2. He got up 0-2 on Senzel too, so this is no guarantee. The 19th pitch of the inning for Leclerc. And that's going to get down. How does that get out there? Are you kidding? That was so far below the zone. And now 2 in scoring position. We're about to go bottom 9, and we're going to have to walk it off to win this game, I feel like. Our closer is not showing up. The bullpen isn't at all. Matt Strahm allowed 3 runs, and the rest have already allowed 2. And that's going to be it for Leclerc. You cannot allow this guy to hit a sac fly or really anything besides like a pop-out like this right here. That's perfect. Ohapi is there for the grab in front of the Mariners dugouts. 1 more out. Cal Raleigh has not been great this year, but he's still hit 13 home runs, and we're going to walk him. So bottom of the order it is. Lázaro Montes. He's not batted well this year, just over 200 average. Is he going to be a hero for Seattle?
No, that missed. That's a ball.
That one's in the air. Lawasiga came in, and he's going to secure us the victory. And with this win, we're back in the 3rd wild card spot. Now we just got to protect it. That was absolutely massive. Almost blew it a couple of times, but thankfully, the offense puts up 7 runs, enough to get the win. It's never easy in this division. First round pick Johnny Fortune has signed. Nick Blum has accepted his contract. Ruiz declined his initially. We'll get one done with Hamill probably on the first go-around. Or not. Despite the 70% interest, that doesn't make any sense. And then Richie Zambrano, also high interest. And they all decline. Okay. High-scoring game here in the first against the Rangers. We're going to sim through it, but Kyle Tucker's got a chance to put us in front here. And it looks like we lose 9-10. So in this game, who got hammered? We got 6 off of Dane Dunning. He came out after only a handful of outs. And Joe Ryan had one of his worst games of the year. And Cisneros came in and allowed 3 runs in a single inning. Great. Another bullpen gaffe. Game 2. And we're allowing 9 more runs. What is going on with our bullpen, man? This is insane. I don't know what I just clicked auto for. In this game, Jack Leiter, 3 earned runs over 5 innings pitched. John Means allowed 3. Caden Dana with a really poor showing. 4 earned runs and got 1 single out. I'm going to push the player lock for Williams to next episode just because I don't have the time to do it in this one. But we're going to wrap up the month of July here, heading into August. Probably spend a few episodes down there, but how can we finish off this month? We sign our 3rd round pick, Estevan Cena Ruiz. Cool. Damon Hamill accepts a 2nd offer. And we have signed the entire draft class. We win Williams' first start, 13-3. Where was this offense in this last game? 3 different home runs from Edward Julian, Odell Herrera, and Logan O'Hoppe. Everybody got at least 1 hit in this game, and we got a decent outing from Williamson, 2 earned runs and just below 5 innings pitched. Caden Dana came in, got his 3rd win of the year in his 5th or 4th appearance, man. Andrew Wantz got his 2nd save of the season. And yeah, we got a lot of runs off of pretty much all their pitchers except for Andrew Chafin, who got the final out of the game for him. And we end up losing the series 2-4 in game 2 and 3-4 in game 3. And man, I am having problems figuring out where exactly our issues are, consistently game after game, because it's a different thing every time. This episode, it's been some games the offense just can't put up more than 2 runs, and then some games the bullpen allows a lot. So this is not what I expected. We're up 6-0 on the Blue Jays, and Means is going for a complete game shutout. Can he do it? No, he allows a run in the 9th, but we still win it 6-1. I mean, John Means is just incredible, dude. This is insane. Oh, here we go. Tucker's already homered once. Runners at the corners, and he has to hit a home run to walk it off. And the Blue Jays take it 7-5. Game 3, winner takes the series, and we lose. 3 straight series losses after winning against the Mariners out of the All-Star break. This is just so disheartening. We're just getting slowly worse as the year progresses. We are at the trade deadline. Is there anything that we can do to revitalize this roster? We're 12 games back from the Astros, 4-6 in our last 10. And now we're back out of that wild card spot. The Tigers are a game ahead of us. We got several guys hot, including Kyle Tucker, who's up to 255 average. Julian's up to 320, which is just absurd. I mean, what more will it take to get consistent performance levels from the entire team? The pitching has just been so up and down all year long that it has made it so difficult to really establish the right bullpen arms for this season. We're not going to make a deadline move with 2 months to go. We're gonna sim through the last day of July, and we're up 3-2, and we win it 4-2 against the Marlins. Updates from the minors. Barrett Kent in Double-A really struggled in July after initially playing pretty well. Orlando Martinez swung a hot bat in right field in Double-A. Adrian Placencia continues to rake, now batting over 300 during the month. Garvin Alston, 1.8 ERA in July in Double-A. And that's it. We take game 2 against the Marlins 3-1, getting some really good pitching in these first 2 games of the series, so we take that one. And now we can view our draft picks. Let's check them out. Johnny Fortune, 89 actual potential. He is a 60 overall. Bats righty. And yeah, I like his batting skills a lot. Defense is going to require a lot of work, but I love the batting clutch being at 62, the discipline and vision and contact all being at a very similar level. The power's not that low either, so excited for him. Then we've got Estevan Ruiz, who ends up having only 78 potential, lower than I initially thought. Probably your worst draft class to this point, and I spent the most time on this one. We just got unlucky, I think. 68 overall, though, way higher than Johnny Fortune. So he's well on his way to being a solid player in the minor league system. He is already probably a bit better offensively than Fortune and way better on defense. I like his profile a lot with that C potential. Nick Blum, just like Dorado Franco, is going to be pretty much at his potential right now. And he could really help you out on offense, and that's pretty much all he's good for. Defense is not bad. He's a 72 overall, won't go much lower or much higher. So I think he'll be a solid, like, utility option that could be called up a couple of times and give it a chance when guys aren't playing as well in the majors. And then we had 75 potential, 55 overall reliever Damon Hamill. And the K per 9 is very low. So is the pitching clutch, which is a big concern. The control is also very low, but we knew that coming out of the draft. Hopefully the velocity helps him out, and hopefully the hit per 9 and home run per 9 can all get a lot higher before we see any major problems with him. But Richie Zambrano ends up only having 70 potential. He's a 57 overall. And just like with Hamill, low pitching clutch and low control. Definitely our weakest draft class to this point, but other teams, Rodriguez was the 2nd overall pick. He's got 90 potential, and he's a 75 overall. Yeah, this guy can immediately bat against Major League pitching. He's going to be a beast, I think. Nelson Barrero, the pick before us. I really wish we could have gotten him, man. 1 pick away. I can't believe the Mariners took him. And he looks to be awesome, dude. A potential, 92. They also got Elvin Lucas with 89 potential. 2 really good first basemen here for him. And yeah, that's a good draft class. And Marcus Balladares was not the 1st overall pick, but maybe he's related to the 1st overall pick because they have the same last name. 91 potential for the top Rangers selection. Going through these. Jim Stobie, 77 potential. We thought about drafting him. Pedro Mejia, 76. All right. Pretty poor draft class by the Mets here. Almonte had 89 potential. He would have been a pretty good pick too. But I'm satisfied with our 1st overall pick. Giovanni Black, 77 potential. All right. Jed Mercer was really bad. We talked about him a little bit last episode. I'm glad that we missed on him. Vance Chadwick had a really high potential range. We thought about taking him in this draft. Anaya had 92. He went to pick 13 to the Reds. And you can see why. The power is right there. He's got a really strong arm as well. Pretty decent draft class with that 1st overall pick. And the 1st overall pick of the entire draft was Rusty Balladares, or Balladares. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. From the Brewers. 94 stamina has got to be what most of the overall is leaning towards there, because everything else is not too great, except for the home run per 9 and the pitching break. This guy might be in the majors next season. Who really knows? And then they also got Tyler Wilkes. These guys are so lucky. Come on, man. Tom Potter, 88 potential for the Pirates. Ooh, Fred Aldridge and Antonio Pena, 2 really good starters taken by the Cardinals here. 97 potential for Pena is the highest so far in this draft. Couple of picks for Diamondbacks. Horrible draft for the Rockies. And then the Dodgers had a pretty similar draft compared to ours. Lorenzo Gonzalez, 89 potential, 64 overall. The Padres took Darren Crowder with their last pick. And he does have high potential, but he was injured, so that's why I passed on him. Mark Bulk, 86 potential. We thought about drafting him with our first round pick. Brian Inman, only 82 potential, but Henry Reyes, 93 for the Orioles. And then 88 for Darryl Nielsen. Rob Willie, only 76. Ken Wilson, 77. Tyrone Schmidt, taken in the first round. 71 potential. A huge miss by the Yankees. And he was lower than our scouted potential said to us. So glad to not have chosen him. No real great draft classes here for any one team. The Blue Jays might have one of the best. A couple of solid players here. Bob Blank, 93 potential. Dirk Poirier, only 66 out of 49 overall. And Angel Chavez, 95 potential, 76 overall out of the draft. A 93 K per 9 is absolutely absurd. And you can see why he was the top of the board for pretty much everybody. The Guardians got their future closer under wraps. The Tigers might have had the best overall draft. Several guys here in the 80s. Julian Gonzalez was a really good pick by them. They also brought in Garrett Hoffman. And Thomas McGraw, only 73 potential. There was one guy that I'm missing. Steven Mercado, less than 70 potential. Man, what a miss by the Astros. Love that pick for them, I guess. And then back to us with Johnny Fortune. But I think for us, Johnny Fortune is going to be a guy that hopefully progresses fast and might appear in the majors here in 2 or so years. The guys that will also have a shot is probably going to be Ruiz and Blum, because they're both fairly high overalls and have immediate ability, especially on defense. A lot more offense for Blum with that lefty contact. We'll see who gets a chance next year. Maybe they don't, but who knows? I think it was a solid first pick, but could have done better for the rest of them. Not too good on the potential, which is what I was trying to lean towards, but just got unlucky. We're going to end the episode right here, folks. There is a 3-way tie. Us, the Tigers, and Mariners have the same percentage record for that third wildcard spot. It's going to be quite a battle these last 2 months to try and make the postseason, but I think we have the roster to do it. And if Kyle Tucker can continue to progress after a really slow first half of the season, he's picking things up. And if he continues to rise in terms of batting, and we get some help from guys like Brandon Drury and Marco Luciano and Adel Herrera, then the offense is going to be the spark that this team needs to make that wild card run. That's going to be it for me here in this episode, folks. We'll get into a game for Brandon Williamson and probably a player lock game for somebody else later on in the season. Going to wrap up right here as we enter August. 2 months left to play, and so we have a lot to play for. I'll see you guys in the next one. Leave your comments down below on the drafts. Please like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.